If you do not have yourself, genuinely, who do you have? If you lose yourself and you don't trust yourself, who else is going to pick you up? Who else is going to be there all the time? Who else is going to care about you? Johnny over there doesn't think about, oh, do you need a new car? Do you need a house? There will be moments where you're calling your partner and he's just not able to answer. Who are you alone with at that moment? You and God. That is what you have. In this super short video, you're going to learn how to actually begin to trust yourself. I really suggest you implement these things because otherwise it will not work. Not every type of person is the type to actually listen and then implement these things. Please be that type of person today. It's such a short video. Do yourself this favor. For your life, that means less anxiety. Oftentimes anxiety comes from the fact that we're supposed to be doing things. Like we always feel out of alignment with ourselves. Anxiety comes from that. So less anxiety, clearer decisions, less reliability on other people. If they add something to your life, it's like, great, let's be friends, let's hang out. But if you do not add something to my life, I'm okay to be alone because I trust myself. You give more feminine energy and you have stronger boundaries. Literally so many good things come out of having trust with yourself. Because who else are you going to trust? Who else's mind do you know? It's so hard to be out of alignment with yourself in your head. You need to be friends with your own head. I'm Toria, by the way, and if you're watching this, you're probably a day one. This channel is super bare, so I super appreciate you subscribing. This is my way to give back from what I learned, from what I experienced to young women. I really feel that God has called me to do this, so I'm super determined to grow this channel and give you as much value as possible. It is really in my best interest. And I just first want to reframe that self-trust is keeping little promises to yourself. That is self-trust. And eventually big promises, like big goals. In 5 years, I will be there. That is self-trust. You already know because you said it. You already know that is where you'll end up because you just trust yourself so innately. But it's also about knowing that if something uncomfortable comes up, you're in an uncomfortable situation, you will have the strength and self-trust to trust your gut, but to also do the right thing. That is self-trust, but it begins with little promises. Currently, you don't have that trust in yourself because you've trained yourself not to trust you. So what do? When we train ourselves or when we have a habit to do a certain thing, we basically just reverse it. Not trusting yourself looks like ignoring your intuition, not going with your gut. If you feel that you shouldn't be in a certain situation, but you're staying there anyway, you're already breaking a promise to yourself. It may not directly seem like it, but you feel that you shouldn't be with this person. You feel that this situation isn't who you are, but you stay there anyway. It looks like saying in your head, oh, I'll start tomorrow. Not necessarily I'll start tomorrow, even I'm too tired for this right now. I don't want it right now. Like, I don't want it bad enough. Somebody else is going to come and get your goal. They're going to snatch it away from you because that was your opportunity. If you don't take it and you don't follow your intuition because you have no trust in yourself, you're going to lose it. And some other woman who trusts herself more is going to come and snatch it from you. It looks like consuming content that doesn't align with your path, which is why it's so important to follow creators who actually benefit your life. Which is why I feel even if this video helps one girl out and she doesn't comment, she doesn't tell me, we never get to see each other, but I influenced her life positively from my content, and now she has this ability to go and create the reality she wants because she is so in tune with herself. She has big goals and she's delusional. Everyone says she's delusional, but she doesn't under-execute. If you look at how your day went today, you can make quite a good prediction of how your week is going to go and how your month is going to go. Literally, what is real is today. The week isn't real yet. You might not be there tomorrow. So what you do today, think of it as this is the trend for my week. This is the trend for my month. Today is all I have that is tangible. Right now is all I have that is tangible. So what promise can I keep to myself right now to get me to this long-term goal? That anxiety you feel, it is not random. It means you have these goals in your head and you're just not taking them seriously. And that causes you anxiety because you're drifting away from this person that you're supposed to be. Intrinsically, you have a purpose. I believe you are so valuable, and especially you're so valuable in what you're supposed to do in this life. So the fact that you're drifting away from that, of course that's going to cause anxiety. That's so self-explanatory. So when you break these little promises to yourself from today, you feel anxiety today, and you also feel anxiety about the future. And then you break the promise to yourself tomorrow. So you feel anxiety about the future and today. So you're just constantly anxious, and what a terrible state that is to live in. The very first thing I recommend you do, and I have this done, is write your goal on a piece of paper, the time frame you want to achieve it in, exactly the amount of money, for example, you want to make in that time frame, and exactly how you're going to make it, or exactly how you want to start running. You want to run a marathon. How am I going to train for this exactly? And stick it up on your wall. And every single morning, make it a ritual that you cannot get out of bed until you read this goal of yours. First, be clear on your goal. And by keeping that little promise to yourself of, if I can get up every single morning and I can read this piece of paper without fail, I can absolutely go do everything else. So create one solid ritual that you have, or create some daily promise that you can complete for yourself, and just start your day off positively with the notion that I can do consistent things. One, it emphasizes your goal. So your brain is very clear on that goal. You remember it. Or you can read it before you go to bed and when you wake up, because those are the most like lucid type moments in your day where you're about to go to sleep and your mind is about to process everything. Also practicing being truthful with yourself. Be truthful about what you can handle in that moment. If today, what your life looks like is you're scrolling all the time, you're consumed by it, it's really hard to get away from it because you need that dopamine at this point. You have a really hard time eating your meals, or you have a really hard time staying away from sweets, and you're doing all these bad habits that you do not want to do. Like, I'm sure you want change. And let's do something about that. You don't have to be honest with yourself verbally yet. You don't have to be honest with somebody else yet. Let's take a small step. Let's take out a journal or a piece of paper and be as honest to yourself as you can on that paper. I'm too skinny for my liking. I'm too fat for my liking. I want to be fitter. I want to be healthier. I want to make X amount of income. I want to find a really good partner. Which environments do I have to be in to put myself there? Which environments am I in right now? Make a list of all the things that are hindering your progress. Things I need to stop doing. List everything you think is hindering your progress, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a parental relationship, whether it's a sibling relationship. You can put it there and do your best to either avoid the relationship. Sometimes you can't, and I understand that. Then just make methods or find methods that work for you, that you can use to best either tune this person out or best ignore what they say to you, because it's not helpful to whatever it is you're doing. Especially if you feel that you have a partner and you're feeling confused with this partner. Toxic relationships don't always feel bad. They feel confusing. And I made a video on it. Please go watch it if you feel that you're in a toxic relationship or you just feel confused. If this isn't feeding you, this might be the biggest hindrance. This is your 50-50 person, the person you're supposed to be spending the most amount of time with. So this is a crucial decision you have to make for yourself. If they're on that list of what does not benefit me, or what do I need to stop doing, or who is hindering my progress, then please go watch the video. The fact that you don't trust yourself is a habit. So what do we need to do? We need to make that habit as unattractive as possible. And negotiating yourself out of the good things that you planned for yourself is such a common way to skip out on something so valuable for your life and for today, so it can continue for the week. In Atomic Habits, they suggest a couple things you can do to make sure you follow through on that goal. If you are planning to go on a run tomorrow morning, it is very helpful to write down the time, write down the place you're going to do it, and then read it out to yourself the night before a couple of times. And when you get up, you also read that slip of paper. At this time, I'm doing X thing by putting my shoes on. And oftentimes just doing the first action will get the ball rolling. Getting your shoes on will get the ball rolling. So just promise yourself you'll do the first action. Even if today the whole process doesn't continue of you actually going out of the door and taking that 20-minute jog, maybe it'll be a 2-minute run. That's okay. At least you showed up. It's about changing your identity to the type of person that you want to become. And if you feel like you're in this position where you're having a super hard time to change habits, I actually have it right here. I heavily recommend to read Atomic Habits. It is a game changer. They'll talk about literal studies. They'll give you examples, and with examples, your mind absorbs things better. They have pictures in here, little pictures and diagrams. If you're kind of on the edge of reading the book, or you're not at the point of reading books, you're not a reader yet, I linked it down in the description. I made a video summary. I have a second channel, which is a book channel. I read books and I take notes on them and then I summarize them to you so that we can both benefit from the knowledge. I will link my videos about Atomic Habits down in the description. If you're really feeling like you're having trouble changing your habits or making them unattractive, and that's really important. They talk about it here. Making a good habit attractive is great. But what do you do with a bad habit? You make it as unattractive as possible. Here, I just found how to break a bad habit. This chart, super helpful. Even if you don't watch the video, at least you can see this chart. This is it. So this is making the bad habit invisible, putting it away out of sight, making it unattractive, making it difficult to do, putting some sort of physical barrier, maybe a mental barrier, and make it unsatisfying to do. With this framework, it is so much easier. I know you want to think that you're super strong and you can do this on your own and you just have the mental power. Why hasn't it worked so far? That means you need a little bit of help. I needed a little bit of help. Making good habits as easy as possible is in your benefit right now. Once we get that first step, then you're going to have the mental basis to make these fixes on your own. But first, I heavily suggest that you go and you do research or you read the book or watch my video where we talk about all the important takeaways from that book. I'm going to take your hand and I just want to wish you all the best. Sometimes all it takes is just one person to tell you that they trust you and they believe in you. And if you don't have that person in your life right now, let that person be me. I believe in you. I believe that you can make a change. And I believe that you can implement these things. This channel is pretty new and I want it to help as many people as possible. So I would really appreciate it. It helps so much more than you know to put a thumbs up and a comment. I read all the comments, by the way. I would love to say hi to you. Please subscribe because I'd love to see you again.